streak, and I think momentum has a lot to do with racing, so I'm going to go with him.
My second pick is Mark Martin. Once again, I'll agree with some things you said. He obviously won there in the spring, had a good car. Obviously, he had to have a good car to be in position to win. Needs a, after a 23rd subpar, needs a good run. He's where is he in points? 11th.
Mark Martin.
He's not
12th. 11th.
Okay, yeah, he's 11th. Needs a good run. Won there in the spring. Mark Martin's run well on these types of tracks. Yeah, I picked Mark Martin. So, Roush versus Hendrick so far. Who's your last pick?
My last pick is Jimmy Johnson. I know who to pick, really, as my last pick, so got to go with Jimmy Johnson. NASCAR might pull out their Jimmy Johnson script that I've seen so many times where he'll be running back top 5, top 10-ish, and then somehow with 20 laps to go, there'll be a caution. He'll be in third, take second off the caution, then catch the guy with 10 laps to go.
Or the double foul restart.
Yeah, and then pass the leader with 10 laps to go, and then finish off the last 10 laps for the win.
Well,
your standard script.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Kyle is a conspiracy theorist with the best of them. Anyway, I'm gonna call an audible on my last pick and change it up a little bit. I'm gonna stay with Hendrick, but I'm not gonna pick who you just picked because that's who I did pick. I'm gonna call an audible. I'm gonna pick Jeff Gordon. He was decent. I'm not picking Dale Earnhardt Jr.
You could pick Stewart.
No, I'm going to pick Jeff Gordon. I'm going to use one of my Jeff Gordon picks. Because he's not. Yeah, he finished second there in the spring, but I still want to see even more from him on these types of tracks. So I'm just going to. I did pick Johnson, but I don't want to pick the same thing as you. So I'm going to go with Jeff Gordon. We'll see what happens. Hendrick versus Roush. So, yeah. So we'll see what happens next week. We'll obviously go through and see how we did. So, yeah, go Jeff Gordon. You're like Jimmy Johnson's gonna win. You're convinced that Jimmy Johnson's gonna win. What if he does win? Oh my gosh, I gave those points away then. Anyway, so I think that's it about NASCAR. We got Michigan, the most exciting track, but after that's Bristol. So
yes, can't wait till Bristol. Finally.
Was that sarcasm?
No.
Or can you really not wait?
Finally, a good race. I mean, not that Watkins Glen was bad, but
like
Bristol's like the best.
Do you remember our freshman year in college watching the Bristol night race in your dorm?
Yeah.
When the video game move between Ryan Newman and Dale Jarrett happened. Do you remember? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Because we actually, I'll never forget it. For those of you watching us on YouTube, we both made the face, and we were like, because it was just like this blatant like. Yeah. It was. I remember
I was also mad at Ryan Newman because I think Dale Jarrett was retaliating from Ryan Newman spinning him earlier in the race.
Oh, and Harvick got
Harvick was like coming out of the pits or something, and Newman went down right in front of him and damaged him.
Are you sure that wasn't Newman spinning Jarrett? I think it was. No. What was the bonsai move? Was Jarrett, not Newman? Yeah, because he was like 3 lanes below him, and just it was like a video game move. It's like what Kyle or Doug would do to you.
Yeah, I was like, Newman.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. So we'll preview that next week. But yeah. So obviously it's been kind of a big week in baseball. We're going to move on to baseball, obviously. There's been a couple of things that happened. Probably the most newsworthy. And had we done the show on Monday, we wouldn't have been able to talk about this today.
Right.
But last night in the Boston-Detroit game, in like the second or third inning, earlier in the game, was it Cabrera? Miguel Cabrera. Yeah, Miguel Cabrera got hit. And did you see when he got hit? It did not. I mean, he was batting, and it just barely clipped him on the hand. It did not look intentional at all.
I didn't see the Miguel Cabrera hit.
Yeah. Well, however, the night before he also got hit, but it did not look intentional the night before either. So it did not look intentional. I mean, it barely clipped him. Anyway. So then in the next inning or whatever it was, a couple innings later, Porcello, I believe is how you say his name for the Tigers, went high and tight on Victor Martinez, and some say missed him, meant to hit him, but missed him. Some say that. And then Youkilis, who also got hit in retaliation for Cabrera the night before Monday night, got hit square in the back, right between the numbers. And you saw this, I'm assuming, just immediately charged the mound, and they tackled each other, and benches cleared, and it was kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like watching those. But
Base brawl.
What? Base brawl? That's funny. I've never heard that. That's totally a headline. Somebody used that today as a headline. But I guess the greater context of this is it just me, or has there been a lot of retaliation recently?
Yeah, that Prince Fielder thing just happened, and
I mean, you can talk a little bit about that since it happened like a week ago. What happened with that?
Well, before I get to that, it seems like, pitchers. I mean, a guy gets hit on what looks like an accident, and the pitcher retaliates right after. I mean, I get defending your players, but accidents happen too. I mean, but I can kind of understand this. The Red Sox Detroit thing, since Cabrera was hit 2 nights in a row. But yeah, I mean, you pretty much have to hit a guy. But missing on Victor Martinez and then hitting Euclid, that looks too obvious and bad. I don't know.
I mean, it's not, I mean, did you see the Victor Martinez one or no? Like, it went high and tight on him. It almost got him. Excuse me. You could make an argument that he missed him. We don't know, of course. The only person that knows is Porcello. But the fact that, you're right, the greater context of Cabrera was hit Monday night, then Euclid was hit, and Euclid just kind of glared at him, walked down to first base. That was his 9th hit bat this year. He was hit for the 9th time Monday night, I'm sorry. And then last night, like I said, they hit Cabrera again. Did not look intentional, honestly, in my opinion. And then they miss on Martinez and then hit Euclid again. Probably the wrong guy to hit, because that was his 10th time he's been hit this year. And he said in his post game, he was just like, you at some point have to stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
And he said, obviously, I didn't handle it the best way, but I mean, did Porcello really not think that there was going to be something that happened with that?
Well, I think he was ready for it. Euclid came really fast, though.
It was pretty instant. I mean, the ump, it almost looked like the ump, because I've seen it so many times. I was looking at the ump too. The ump, it almost looked like was getting ready to like throw him out, but then he couldn't, because like pretty instantaneously Euclid just charged him out.
Yeah, he got hit and then threw his bat and ran out there. He didn't even take a step to first or anything.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I think a good base brawl. I'm gonna use that. Is good. It fires up teams. It's been proven to fire up teams. The Red Sox won last night. I bet they watch them win like 4 or 5 in a row now.
Probably not the best decision for Detroit to lose their starting pitcher that early.
Yeah, that's another way you got to think about it, because it was the 3rd inning.
Up on their bullpen pretty bad.
Yeah, you're right, because I mean, obviously he was going to get thrown out.
Right.
Euclid got thrown out. He's probably going to get suspended for 4 games.
Euclid might be in bigger trouble because he threw his helmet at the pitcher.
Oh yeah, he did.
And
yeah, but at least
he's definitely going to get fined and suspended for that.
Yeah, but they were saying on a sports show I was watching that they think was better than him punching him.
I don't know. You can't take your bat or helmet or anything
and
out
use
there
that.
With you. Yeah, you just got to use your
fists.
Yeah.
So,
he didn't punch him though. He tackled him.
So you think that? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. They actually. Did you happen to catch baseball last night?
Yeah, I saw
Did you see the thing about the art of fighting?
Yeah.
I thought that, and they kept saying we obviously don't condone fighting, but they're in baseball. Baseball, I think, more than any other sport, there's all these like codes, like unwritten codes, and we talked a little bit about this weekend at your house. But there is, I loved how you saw the part where they were analyzing it with Brandon Inge at the first. I loved that. They were like telling that the third baseman should have gotten in there, but Euclid went so quick though.
Well, they were saying the pitcher should have gone. When he was kind of backing away from Euclid, he was going to the first base side. They're saying he should have gone to the third base side because that's the side of the field that the Tigers' dugout was on, so he'd have his teammates closer. Yeah. But I don't know. He wasn't getting away from Euclid, I don't think.
I think the other argument to make before we move on to the Prince Fielder thing, which relates to this, is a lot of people, and I don't know how I feel about it, but a lot of people don't like especially retaliation in the American League because you can't hit the pitcher. You have to take it out on the best players. In the National League, you can at least hit the pitcher. But I am all for, and I know if I was a manager or anything, and I felt like my team was legitimately being picked on, like the Dodgers felt last year or whatever,